The next thing what we are going to discuss in this topic, next point it is the anomalous properties of second group, uh, second period elements. Okay, second period elements. So here also we are going to discuss regarding the representative element, that is group 1, 2 and 13 to 70. So the first element of this group, okay, the first element of this group, they shows different properties than the other member of same group. For example, what we are trying to say is that so if you take chosen group 1 and group 2, so it is lithium, sodium and potassium. So down I am not writing, and here it is beryllium, magnesium and calcium. So if you observe the properties of lithium, they are very different from this sodium and potassium. Okay, they are different from sodium and potassium. If you observe the properties of beryllium, they are different from magnesium and calcium. So the first member of the second group, the first member of second period, second period of group 1 to 13 to 17, they shows different properties from the element which are present uh, in the same group. Okay, so if you take an example of lithium and beryllium, both lithium and beryllium forms covalent compounds, while the other member of this family, that is under lithium, sodium, potassium, both are forming ionic compound, or calcium, then rubidium, they are forming ionic compound, but lithium forms covalent compound. The nature of bond is covalent bond. If you take an example of beryllium, beryllium forms covalent compound, while magnesium, calcium, barium, okay, they forms ionic compounds. So these two elements, they are forming covalent compound, means that they are different from their family, okay, or the group properties, different from their group properties. So these properties are what? Abnormal to the group properties. What we are discussing, the whenever we discuss the first group, okay, we are saying that they are most electropositive, okay, they are forming positive ions, they are forming ionic compound, their ionization enthalpy is low, and they are easily gives electron, like that. Okay, but whenever we come to lithium, it is showing different properties. Whenever we come to beryllium, there he is showing different properties. Now why these abnormal things, why these anomalous properties are? Okay, so anomalous properties are because of small size, high charge to radius ratio, high electronegativity. So it is first member. So what we are saying, electronegativity decreases from the top to bottom. So the first member is always having high electronegativity and absence of d orbital. So this thing will be discussed in the uh, what group 13 to 17. Okay, so the properties, these are what? Abnormal properties from the group. But the first member of each group, they are showing similar properties, okay, similar properties uh, with the next group member of next group member of next period. For example, lithium shows similarities in the properties with magnesium, okay, and this beryllium shows similarity in the properties with aluminium. Okay, so this is called as the similarity in the properties of lithium and magnesium, beryllium and aluminum. It is called as diagonal relationship. They are in diagonal relationship with each other because their properties are similar. Okay, so this is regarding the abnormal things. So remaining properties, remaining all the abnormal properties we are going to discuss in our next chapters, that is S block element, P block element. Okay, in that we are going to discuss the abnormal properties of lithium also, similarity with lithium, similarities of lithium with magnesium, the abnormal properties of beryllium and similarity with aluminum. Okay, now what we are trying to say that this they are showing different properties from the uh, member of the group. So last point what we are saying, the absence of d orbital. Now carbon and silicon, if you consider carbon and silicon, carbon has electronic configuration 1s2 2s2 2p2. Okay, well silicon has 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p2. Now in case of carbon there is only electron present in a 2p, there is no 3s and 3p. So this third cell 3s 3p 3d, this cell is absent in case of carbon. Okay, but in case of silicon 3s is fulfilled, 3p has 2 electrons and 3d is empty. Now this silicon can use this 3d orbital, okay, to form the bonds with the other atoms, but carbon can't. Okay, and that's why silicon can expand its valency. Okay, but carbon cannot able to expand its valency. Okay, more than 4. So silicon may extend its valency. Likewise, nitrogen, for oxygen, phosphorus, sorry, fluorine, we can compare the electronic configuration. So the silicon, phosphorus, sulfur and chlorine, they contains empty d orbital, or bottom members also, they contains empty d orbitals, and that's why they are capable to expand their valency. Now, if you compare the first member, how they are abnormal from group number 14 to 17, how they are showing abnormal properties, then carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen, they are capable to form multiple bond. That is, carbon carbon double bond is there, carbon nitrogen double bond is there, carbon oxygen double bond is there. In case of nitrogen, nitrogen can form nitrogen nitrogen triple bond, nitrogen oxygen double bond is there, and carbon nitrogen double bond is there. Likewise, carbon nitrogen triple bond can be formed, carbon carbon triple bond can be formed. Okay, while oxygen can form a double bond with carbon, oxygen can form double bond with nitrogen. Okay, and there is a double bond between oxygen atom, so oxygen molecule can form. So this carbon nitrogen oxygen can form multiple bonds. Okay, while the members of the same group, okay, that is members of carbon family, nitrogen family, or oxygen family, that is sulfur, phosphorus, then silicon, they are not capable to form multiple bonds. So this is the cases, these are some properties, okay, which are different from their family members, or different from the other member of same group, and that's why they are, these properties are called as abnormal properties. So this is regarding the abnormal properties. The next and remaining abnormal properties we are going to discuss in the next chapters, that is S block and P block. Now we will move for the chemical reactivity. Okay, and in the chemical reactivity we are going to consider only the formation of oxide, that is compounds with oxygen, that is called as oxides. Okay, so what I have written over here, read out this, I will read out the element on left. Okay, element on the left, so left side of periodic table, forms basic oxide, forms basic oxide. So for example, I have taken Na2O or MgO. Okay, you can write K2O. Okay, and CaO. Okay, likewise these oxides are basic in nature. Basic, all of you know that they convert the color of litmus paper. Okay, the elements on right hand side, extreme right hand side, they forms acidic oxides. Okay, for example, Cl2O7, Cl2O7. Okay, the Cl2O7 are oxide is acidic oxide. So once again, they are turning the color of litmus paper. While the elements which are present in the center of periodic table, they forms amphoteric oxides or neutral oxide. Amphoteric, for examples, amphoteric oxides are Al2O3, As2O3, arsenic oxide, aluminum oxide. These are amphoteric oxide, while neutral oxide, carbon monoxide, nitric oxide, uh, N2O. These are neutral oxide. What is amphoteric? Amphoteric. Okay, amphoteric. They act as a acid and base. So they are showing both properties, acidic also and basic also. Whenever they are come in contact with base, they act as a acid. Whenever they came in contact with acid, they act as a base. This is called as amphoteric nature. So this is regarding the chemical reactivity. Okay, so how they are? The most electropositive atoms forms uh, basic oxide. The most electronegative atoms form acidic oxide. Electronegative forms acidic oxide, while the elements which are present at the center, which are not most electronegative also, most electropositive also, they forms amphoteric or neutral oxides. Okay, so this is regarding the topic periodic table. So I have taken two topics for your next unit test. One is first topic, that is some basic concept of chemistry, that is first topic, and second topic, that is classification of elements. So these two topics are I have chosen for your next unit test. Okay, so study it properly. Okay, refer the textbook for the same and study well. Thank you.